Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to be listen our Vishnu shows. Here we're gonna interview an amazing person, an amazing personality that will be share their experience about their journey and lot of other things. So today I'm really excited for this conversations with my brother, with my friends. Yeah, I say that. Arnab, thank you so much to first of all join us. Yeah.
Thank you, Vishnu. And it is my pleasure as well to join you. And it's wonderful to see at a young age you are doing this. It's an
Oh
inspiration
no.
for me as well. You are
Yeah,
my new
you are
inspiration now.
no, you are also so young, so that's so yeah, could you tell about a little bit more about your journey, sir?
Yeah, sure. So I reside in Bangalore and I have been working as an IT professional since past 10 years, and it has been a wonderful journey so far. And in IT professional, as we know, it's information technology, and the way of life is completely different to how we all look towards in our own families and relationships. So that's how my journey began in 2010, and it has been going since 10 years past. And today I am completing 11th year of my work life. So
Mm.
exactly today, and it has been a nice journey.
Yeah, exactly. Today it will be going great. But yeah, also yeah, tell about that you yeah. For yesterday we were gonna talk and you tell what yeah I'll be learn yeah like from the IT sectors that kind of thing that you don't like. Then you exactly change what kind of the period. Then you think so I just want to change it to my own self.
Okay. Yeah, so in IT, we have observed like my colleagues, my friends, all have been very friendly. But there is a culture which I had been observing throughout in IT, and that is like you have to move ahead in life, which is a part and parcel of life.
Mm,
But a culture which I had observed in a few of my friends, whom I'll not name, is that they would put others down. So
mm,
putting others down and moving forward is not a very good way of moving ahead, but it is not like unethical. It is
mm,
something which is okay with. It's something like known as survival of the fittest.
mm,
So something was really different from my ideology, and that's where I
mm,
thought like something should be different, because if the same thing is followed within our families and relationships, things will go very bad, and
mm.
that's where it changed for me.
Like what's the like then you change yeah like you talk to with neuroscience scientist what will be happen exactly then to change your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was I was when I found this problem that survival of the fittest, though it is a concept well known within this community within the world and everything, something was lacking. That is putting yourself up, that selfish factor. So that's where I started checking out that what is the difference between that selfishness and the selfless attitude which is found within the bonding of a family. So
Mm,
that's where I thought, like, why not inculcate the same habit within the IT infrastructure as well? And that's where I started learning things. And
mm,
this is the place where I came across a neurologist in United States. His name is Dr. Timothy Jennings,
mm,
and he has given a very nice concept about what's the difference between the cognitive process. Cognitive, as we know, is an intelligent way of thinking. So what is the difference between making a decision with your intellect, and what is the difference of making the difference between it with taking a decision with your emotion? So that's where I started. The book's name was Could It Be This Simple? Okay,
mm.
and the subtitle was very nice, Come Search With Me. So
Oh,
that made me really like purchase the book, go ahead, read it, and it made a lot of difference. That's what I
mm.
learned. It started from there.
Yeah, I also want yeah like you tell me about that journey but I am also really fascinating about that. Yeah, when I saw your social media accounts and now I saw your face I say oh my god yeah is that a different person. Yeah, is that really yeah be honest with you but like I also want to know that's why don't yeah like you are IT person don't use social media don't post anything yeah joining a authors group so how is that.
Okay, so yes, initially I was a part of social media, especially Orkut. If you remember that, that was long back,
Yeah.
and I was a part of Orkut, and Facebook was something which I did not really like because of the user interface with Orkut. Orkut was much vibrant that time,
uh,
but then Orkut went away. We all know, and rest is history. But
uh,
Facebook was good, but I heard so many things that Facebook is not so very safe and secure, and privacy is compromised, and so many things I
mm,
had heard. But of course, being an IT professional, I knew that so many things are cooked up. But
Mm.
then, like, yes, I observed that I was spending more and more time in screen. So spending time in screen is a personal choice, and it makes a lot of difference.
Mm.
And as the time of spending in on the screen was increasing,
Mm.
the level of interaction with my family members was decreasing. So I
Oh.
was not becoming social, though I was in the social media, but I was going the other way around. And that's what I thought, like, let me change the way I look towards things and all. And
Mm.
it started in that way, I will say, basically.
Yeah, that was also, and we are like mostly we were gonna talk about social media, but mostly focus is the books. So like, which kind of books that you're gonna read, and how you think that the book will be change our minds and our personality, our social behavior.
Yes. So books are something from my childhood which I used to hate. As a child, I was, rather I'll say, I was forced to study, and that's how I performed well in my exams. And I really hated books. But then I thought, why not change that? Because there is, our elders speak a lot of things which are, which we cannot understand in our
Yeah.
childhood. But why
Mm.
not try them out now?
Oh.
That's where I started with this book. Could it be this simple? As I read it, I saw that there is something in it, really. And as I was spending time one by one, each page was increasing and giving me more light over the perspective. I
Mm.
started understanding how our brains work,
Mm.
how it is, as we know that brain is the control center of our body, how
Mm.
it actually manipulates and how it controls the entire thing. It really is a marvelous thing. It's, we know that it is one of the wonders of the creation, as we say. Human brain is the most complicated thing ever, which can be
Mm.
read in biology. So I started reading that. I understood the different parts of brain, the decision making place, then the emotions. Each have a different place. The way we taste food items, the way we balance our body, everything was different. So though I had learned it in a very minimal way in school, but now it was in a much better way. I understood things this time. So I started coordinating those things, and then I learned about how to maintain our brain health. So I learned about 8 factors in that of
Mm.
maintaining a brain health, which I put it in an acronym called New Start, NEWSTART. So N stands for nutrition, E stands for exercise, W stands for water, S stands for sunlight, T stands for temperance, then A stands for air, R stands for rest, and again T stands for trust. The trust factor among family members, the love factor, and all that. So I
Oh.
learned that way. So this I could not have got if I would have not studied a book. And it gave me a new perspective. I started experimenting them myself and inculcating the habits, that habit formation, which is said to be like 21 days in minimum and all that.
Mm.
I learned all those things and started experimenting them in my own life. And I saw my life changing slowly. So
Mm.
books are very important, I felt.
Oh my God, you're like the new start. That was really amazing, yeah. That you pick from that books or just you made your own.
Yeah, it's not only from that book. They provided a different way. They called it as in health, if I remember, but I
Mm.
rephrased it in myself. And then
Oh.
I have been among a few friends who are into this medical work. So I started discussing more about all these things with them,
Mm.
and they gave a much better idea about it, and it was really good.
Yeah, like I also feel that when I started, I think just to be 2 and 3 months, then I start reading new things. I say, oh my God, just experiment with new peoples. I listen a lot of peoples. Then I I say, oh my God, this kind of thing also happened in the world. I don't know. But like in the mind, they will be like lot neuroscience. Yeah, like neuroscientists, they will be talk about lot of. So what was the thing that you really love about minds that was really fascinating about you?
Yeah, the thing I observed, the thing which really marveled me was that our brain is ever changing. As I had studied in a very biological, fabric way, I'll say rather, each brain has like, trillions and trillions of brain cells called neurons. And the brain cells are connected with each other with axons and dendrites.
Then
So
yeah.
those are very technical terms, and I'm also not a biology student. So in a simple term, each dendrite gets connected to the axons and all that. It goes on, but whenever we perform an action or any habit which is there, the brain rewires itself. That is, in a simple layman's term, I am saying it reverses itself. So, for example, I love eating sweets and
Mm,
I know it is not good for my health. So,
mm,
this time I make a choice that I'll not eat sweet and rather have an alternative, which I don't like. So,
mm,
what the brain does is the formation, the channel which it had created about my habit of eating sweets, it disconnects one of the connection and it connects to the other part, wherein the one which I hated, disliked.
mm,
So every time I keep doing that, the channel which I did not like earlier gets stronger and broader, meaning it becomes easier for me to practice that as a habit. So they say 21 days, but it might vary also. And that's where I learned that, okay, brain has this capability. If brain has this capability, we can change ourselves in a much better way. And of
mm.
course, the strength, we know that willpower is something which resides in the front part of the brain.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it
Mm,
can be exercised. With
mm,
that, every one of us, every single individual of in this earth, that is, we have close to 8 billion people. So we have 8 billion individuals and 8 billion individualities. And with this, the world is a unique place. Everyone is unique. That's what I learned. And this made me really marvel about the neurology or neurological science, I'll say rather.
oh my God. Like, yeah, like you're an IT person and then yeah, suddenly this yeah biologics terms. Yeah. So that was yeah like a point I'll be like. And I also want to know that yeah, more we have to all focus on like physical body, yeah, like our appearance and yeah, all these things. But we never focus in the most powerful things that will be change our life. So what was the thing? I think you read a lot about this, yeah, mind. So how can we have to keep our mind also healthy? Like what kind of thing that we should have to like? Just we read books or read stuff or like positive? What kind of thing that you think?
Yes. First thing to keep our mind healthy is like, okay, let's take it in this way.
Yeah.
Um, we know a vehicle. We ride a
Mm.
two-wheeler or something. A two-wheeler was not an accident. It was designed, it was created, it was engineered, and it
Uh,
was given the proper fuel. So once the proper fuel was given, it was also kept healthy, it was kept clean and everything. So this is just a concept. So
mm,
similarly for our brain, we need to have healthy habits. Okay,
mm,
so with healthy habits, we need to exercise, we need to drink adequate amount of water and expose ourselves to sunlight, because sunlight helps in developing vitamin D for all of
mm,
us. And that's a very important ingredient for the cholesterol, the healthy cholesterol in our
yeah.
body. And brain is a part of fat, and it has a lot of
Yeah.
fat, as much as I remember. And so many things come up. If it comes to the physical factors, yes, nutrition is very essential. And reading books, where does reading books come in all this thing? It's a habit, it's an exercise. When we exercise our body,
Yeah.
our muscles grow, develop. But
Mm,
when we exercise our brain, when we are learning new things, when we are inculcating new things, we are exercising our mind, our brain gets strengthened. Yeah, you
mm,
might observe, like, currently I am around 33.
mm,
So the time when I was younger, when I was studying in school, my memory was much, much better. And
mm,
as soon as I left this and I started job and all that, that memorizing power slowly reduced. Why is
mm,
it so? Because I have not been using the memory capability of my brain.
mm,
So if I can start exercising now, it
mm.
will start growing again. That's how things go.
Oh, it means I should have to do that, yeah.
It's for all of us.
Like, and I also want to know this. What was the secret of your smile? Yeah.
My parents.
And yeah, like yeah, we talk about like that little mind kind of stuff. And what kind of book that we should have to? A lot of people, yeah, they say, oh, is that yeah necessary to yeah like reading books? My lot of friends say that yeah, we love to like watching movie. It will be so boring to yeah reading stuff that's self worth. But yeah, I say them yeah like yeah it's really boring yeah when at time I started. But I say now, whatever kind of thing that you like is like you like fantasy, you like sports, you like mystery, you like that kind of thing would you have to yeah, read that or just self-worth or neurologist or mind, that kind of book? Yeah.
What I can suggest you is reading is not an easy habit nowadays, especially in this media world. It's
Yeah.
very tough, frankly
Yeah.
speaking. So how I did was I started with the topic which was very interesting for me. So I
Mm.
started with a mystery thriller. All of us know about Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
of course.
started with the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and what and how it changed. I'll tell you in a very brief way. I
Yeah.
started when I read that I started visualizing. I kept myself in the scenes. So as I read that, as I kept myself in the scenes, the interest started increasing. And all of us might have watched this movie, The Martian.
Yeah.
So this movie I had watched for almost 2.5 hours on the screen. It was wonderful. But
Mm.
next I thought, why not read this as a novel? And I purchased the book and I read it, and there was a difference. The way it was, I was visualizing that I myself was in Mars. I was walking with the astronaut. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but the way it was explained there was a different thing. I was visualizing that myself, as opposed to what was shown in the screen. In screen it was what they made you see, but
Mm.
this time when I was reading, I was having my own power. I was visualizing it. So I thought, when I'm reading these novels, thrillers, fiction, why not start with non-fiction self-help books?
Mm.
And the first book I read during that time was Could It Be This Simple? And I thought that was really nice. I could
Mm.
visualize something. I got a lot of knowledge.
Mm.
Slowly, I started increasing the reading time. Of course, if you will laugh if I tell you the first day how much I read. I read for
How?
1 minute 23 seconds. I remember that very well. And next day I increased it to 24 seconds. And I had kept a stopwatch reading. And because
Why?
reading was a waste of time that time.
Uh,
But slowly I started increasing the time, and now it has crossed around 3 hours in a day also. I can't say it's not that compulsorily I do every day, but at a stretch I can do that much.
oh.
So slowly and slowly it has increased, and it has helped me a lot. So
Oh.
what I can suggest is start with the area which is very interesting for you. Once you do that, you will start gaining interest. You'll get that habit. You will do it. That
Mm.
happens very well.
Yeah, like Lord, yeah, that's you, yeah, the 1 minute 30 second, and I that was yeah really amazing, yeah. And but yeah, like like my lot of friends, yeah, they pick yeah like heavy books like 3,000 or 4,000 pages, and yeah, start reading like 30 to 40 pages. They say, oh my God, so we can't able to finish that. I say, who said to finish you that book? Yeah, is that necessary? If that we pick a book, we have to finish that book.
Okay.
It
A
also,
very,
yeah,
very important question. I
yeah,
used to face this.
yeah,
Initially, what I felt was like I had small books. So all of us would have watched Lage Raho Munna Bhai,
yeah.
that movie.
MBBS, yeah.
Munna Bhai starts with the
MB,
smallest book,
yeah.
and then he becomes a great philosopher and everything.
Oh my
So that's
God.
the way I also started with. But yes, what I can suggest is there are huge books, volumes.
Hmm.
It's not that you'll have to make that mindset that I have to complete this book. It's not like that. Start reading, you'll get interest. If you feel that is good, go ahead. Go ahead, take time. Don't, it's not like we'll have to push ourselves through that, because that will again give a negative emotion, or rather a negative feeling about study.
Uh,
So how much ever possible, go ahead, read that. You can paraphrase it in your own mind. That should
oh,
be a good way.
oh,
But another good thing I can suggest you is there is this social media called Goodreads. All of us would have heard
yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
So that played a big role in my reading habit life
Oh,
actually. So I started recording everything there in Goodreads, what I'm reading, how many pages I completed in a day, and that helped me motivate, move ahead, and all that. So if you, I'll tell you, in 2018 I started in that way using Goodreads. I
mm,
started with maybe some 48 pages in 2018 alone. It
mm,
jumped to 1,000 pages in 2019, and
mm.
last year, that is 2020, I crossed 2,700 pages in 1 year.
Oh,
So that was like phenomenal for me. And this year I'm targeting 3,500 pages. So I
yeah.
hope it will be really
Yeah,
easy.
of course. Yeah, it will be really helpful. Yeah, like I also want to know that yeah, people also a mentality. I don't tell you. Also, my mentality also yeah, after I think several yeah months back that I just yeah to read. Not just yeah like yeah when I complete a page, what in is that? Yeah, is that yeah really necessary to be able to yeah visualize that or to reread that book also? Is that necessary or just to read complete it?
Okay, that's completely up to an individual. See,
Uh,
if, like, for example, my personal opinion on this matter would be like, if I'm starting a book, I sometimes find it boring also. What I
yeah.
do is I start with another book ahead, side
Uh,
by side. Okay, and of course, I don't take the same niche topics at the same time. For example, if I'm reading on thriller, and if I find it boring, I'll not read another thriller side by side. What I'll do is I'll read another self-help book,
uh,
and vice versa, like that, a different topic altogether. So
uh,
when I get interest, when I find this boring, I continue this back. So
uh,
like 3 or 4 books I read at a time. So that has helped me a lot. But
uh,
of course, it's a personal choice whether a person would like to reread that page or not. If it's completely personal, I feel. That's my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, that, yeah, and also, yeah, I also want to know that lot of in this time, I think audiobook will be a lot of trendings now. And people listen it, and people also, yeah, we have to listen. I'm doing work, we can't, yeah, like that kind of imagine. Would you, it will be good idea to be just reading books on virtual and also from like also audiobook. We both is that good or what do you think?
I have tried all the methods once. In fact, when I read Sherlock Holmes, I
Mm,
started with Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and then went on with the first novel. It is A Study in Scarlet. So, Study in Scarlet has 2 parts. The first part is a story of a murder and how, like, he goes on how Sherlock Holmes was in, like, inaugurated in the whole story. How Dr. Watson comes and joins him. Everything is there. Then suddenly in part B, it starts with somewhere far enough in Utah of United States,
mm,
and it was really boring. Somewhere I had stopped that. So I thought, let me download an audiobook and read it and go through that rather than reading the book. It was very boring. So when
mm,
I listened to the audiobook, I found it like very useful. Then I thought, okay, why not read the book along with the audiobook parallelly? I tried that method as well, and it helped me a lot. I finished the book very soon, and sometimes it really helps as well.
oh
So
yeah.
that helped me again. It made me move ahead.
That will be also be good. That will be you readings. And what was the like your real motive now? So like from yeah to start readings, and what was your real motive to now to yeah to read books? Is that to make you genius or what kind of? You already genius, but yeah.
No, 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 it's not that. Of course, one thing I learned is knowledge is there everywhere. We need to tap it. Again, it's a Three Idiots dialogue.
Oh.
But yes, then I thought, like, when we read books, we
Mm,
gain a lot of knowledge, a lot of insights, a lot of
mm,
wisdom. It is nothing wrong to have knowledge and wisdom,
mm,
but it makes a person more experienced.
mm,
So that was one thing, like, rather than like speaking a lot, why
mm.
not listen? Books speak a lot, and let me listen to the books. Let me hear.
Oh.
Okay, so like that, that's what motivated me, and it really helped. And I
Uh,
can only tell those who are finding it tough to read, give it a shot. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes a day.
uh,
Move ahead with something which interests you, gives you interest, and
mm,
then you'll see the difference.
And if you don't want 1 minute 30 seconds, yeah.
That's good.
That,
No
yeah,
worries.
that also be a good, yeah. Like I talk to with yeah with my friend, they will be say, yeah, you read a book, then yeah, just tell me about what kind of that book and just tell me about that summary. I say what? Just tell me about that summary. We don't want to yeah read the whole book. Yeah, is that a good idea to just read summary or to listen some form? Yeah, like this kind of book, this kind of stuff in there, or just to be yeah, like go to in there, read it to feel the book.
What I can suggest for that is, I have come across this as you were telling. I saw myself in your shoes. Really, when one of my friends asked of a similar thing, so what I told him is I started in a very interesting way, and I stopped in middle, and I said I forgot this part. I have to go and read it. Why don't we read it together? I made him read the book, and then he explained me the story. So it
Oh,
actually, yes, that's because of lack of time or laziness or lethargy. People say like that.
mm,
So if they start reading, they'll experience that. That's what I'll say.
yeah. Yeah, like what is that any kind of other thing that you want to share when people start readings?
I couldn't get it. Was breaking. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Is that anything that you want to share when people start reading books?
All I can share is, there is a swimming pool in the front, and you are just wishing to learn
Oh,
swimming by standing at the side of the
government.
swimming pool. You will never learn swimming, or rather, let me say, you want to get wet.
Uh,
You have to dive into the swimming pool. So give
hmm.
it a shot. Start with a few minutes. You'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference literally.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, last question that I have in mind, that's yeah, when I start readings, start readings on the like mobile phone, like Kindle, and people, yeah, like older people say, oh, you don't understand the, yeah, like when you hold the book, then you like all the pages, you'll be great. I say, oh my God, yeah. I say, no, no, I really like that. So, like, which one that in your term is the better way?
Okay, for me, I have no preferences like that. Both are easy for me. Sometimes, like when I'm at office work, and excuse me, when I feel like I need to read any book, I open my Kindle or ebook which I have. I go through that. Or
Uh,
the other time, contemporary to keep my eyes better, I open a paperback or a hardcover edition, hard copy, and I go through that.
mm,
So I felt the hard copy versions are much easy for me, but it's not always the case.
mm,
And there are some times when I don't feel like reading a book, just seeing it like this. So that time I keep the ebook open. I read according to that one also, and that gets easier also. You can mark so many things out there and all that, which in paperback or hard copy you cannot do easily.
mm.
So for me, I felt both useful.
Yeah, and yeah, like would you yeah, like share with your any kind because you not yeah use social media, yeah. That was yeah a great, yeah, not great, but yeah, just to be whatever the thing will be happen. But you don't yet share with your colleagues. Would you think that yeah, from that you're intellectually you become yeah like more powerful with yourself. You know more than to reading books from your all academics.
There are sometimes, all these things will come into picture. But point is like, um, I shared the book which I wrote. I shared with some of my colleagues, and they themselves promoted that in their social media accounts. That was good. That was a free marketing for me, and it was really good. And
uh,
the person who shared in the social media, I was shocked to see his time in social media reducing now. And he shared it with everyone, saying that you should go through the book. It's wonderful, and I will suggest you to go through a hard copy rather than Kindle, because Kindle you will easily get distracted from here and
oh.
there. But go through that. Yes, social media is a very good platform, and we can reach a lot of people. In fact, I met you in social media. That's the best part.
I only send you the message, yeah, because your profile like Explorer and oh my God, I say oh, I will find you on the author group, so that's why. And yeah, like which one that you like big preference about which book that you really like to read? Which yeah like book that you
I
want to
can
recommend?
suggest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are so many books which people will definitely enjoy. I will start like telling people mainly that I will say is rather start with the book which is interesting for you. And I'll show you the book which I have. This is the book which I wrote. It's
Mm.
called You, and it's just a journey about how I learned things. It's a step by step journey which I wrote, like how the things were
You.
in the IT field.
Mm.
Yes. So I'll just
Yeah, yeah, I get
open.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So I learned in this. I just wrote down how the things were in IT field, what I had witnessed, and how I started learning things, and in what steps I learned and gained knowledge, and how I connected the dots together. So this book is all about that.
Mm.
And in a brief, I learned about the physical structure of brain, how it coordinates with the body, then the different belief systems which we have, and then how that mends or that manipulates our behavior. So once that behavior is into picture, we understand how our characters or individualities are formed. So
Mm.
that's what is mentioned in this book. And I will suggest any person to first go ahead with what is interesting for him or her. Once he gets into reading and studying books, it will be easy for him to move ahead in whatever is easy for him to
Mm.
grasp. So he will find his interest.
Oh, but in the whole podcast, you will never tell about your books. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. This
Yeah.
is the
So
book.
just, yeah, like tell our audience your book name, full book name, and where they find you. Yeah.
Yeah, so my book's name is You. I named it as You because it has to personally connect with you. So it's
Mm,
about rediscovering and understanding your individuality. So
mm,
in a brief shot, I'll show you the contents of it
yeah.
so that you can easily make the thing. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be visible here, but
Of
it's
course not.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll not be visible,
Yeah.
but I'll just read it out slowly.
Yeah.
So the first section I mentioned is about the brain. It
Mm,
has the parts of the brain and what it is used for and which part it manipulates and all. And then the brain health, how to maintain an optimal health for the brain. That followed by the belief system and the four kinds of belief systems all individuals either possess. That is followed by the third section of the behavior. So behavior also we look into four different kinds of behavior, and we can categorize all people in this four behavior systems. That's what.
mm,
And final section I mentioned is the individuality, how the character is formed with all that, how a behavior is essential during character formation. And the final chapter in that is the golden thread. There I wrote the story where how I connected everything out there,
mm.
and it was a nice journey. And I think most of us who can read this book can definitely look himself or herself in my shoes, I think,
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
So
Like which one? Yeah.
I
I
just show
also.
the book once
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
go to read, and I just want to have five book recommendation for you, except your book. Yeah,
sure.
just.
Other five recommendations I can give is there is one book, The Seven Habits of Influential People.
Mhm,
So that is one of the books which I found very essential. Another book which I read was Mind, Character, and Personality. Two volumes are available by a writer called Ellen White. So I found that very useful. The third book which I will say is Could It Be This Simple by Dr. Tim Jennings. So it gives a very brief idea about how our behavior and everything matters. That's the third book. The fourth book which I will say is Ministry of Healing. There is one book
mhm,
called Ministry of Healing. It's about how to heal the body, entire body, and how it affects our mind and everything. And the last book which I will suggest everyone is The Seven Spiritual Laws of Health. So that I don't remember the book's author, but these were the books which are very close to me, and I would
mhm.
definitely suggest all of you to go through that.
That was, yeah, really fascinating about that kind of books. So everybody, yeah, just to listen it, yeah, just go to that book if you want to become this kind of genius person. So yeah, so like, how is, yeah, like, what I also want to know, there's two things. What was the thing that you don't like about readings or writing? What was the one thing that you don't like in both sectors? Yeah.
Of course, the writing was something which I did not like, but then I thought if I don't write, I won't be able to express myself to others.
Oh.
So I again had to go through that. But reading is very good.
Oh yeah, that was really, and I really want to be a thank you. And from the last question, what's the impact that you want to be on the world from your life? What was the impact that you want to create?
Yes, this is a very tough question, I will say. But only thing is, if all of us can develop our own individualities, we can focus on, instead of imitating others, if we can all become like, let me give an example. Look at yourself.
Yeah.
The, you know, I'll tell you frankly, yesterday I watched one of your podcasts and I was shocked to hear you're 18 years old. I did not know that. And look at you, the way you're taking it up, you are already creating an impact to the world.
Oh
And
my God, please.
what I will tell the viewers is, look at Vishnu, look at him, and you can develop your individuality and impact the world as he is already doing it. And
Mm.
that's what, I'll tell you, are one of my role models, and
Now
I'll start
no, no,
something
please. Yeah.
really.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think I should not have to be asked that question. Yeah. Oh,
So,
at first, yeah, like I will send you message and you reply it and give me number, and that was really, really thank you for first of yeah for that, yeah, to be honored to join. But we also want to yeah, doing a yeah other podcast with you about your books because now it's will. But you don't tell me that yeah you write a book. Sorry, it's my because
it's okay. That's
yeah.
fine.
So you're gonna do it to others, yeah. And thank you so much, yeah,
Sure.
Arnav. Thank you so much, yeah, for your love.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vishnu, for